Alright, let's see who's already here and who might join later. Welcome on a lovely and hopefully chill Sunday evening, or whenever it is you're watching this one. Feedback gotten from people who watched the stream afterwards, which I didn't know existed, but you know, it's always nice to know that one. I have rearranged a bit of things, so you will see that everything is on, well, it's mirrored here on that side for you peeps. Instead of it being originally on this side, it's now on that side for you. A bit more organized. Yeah. It also meant that I didn't needed to reorganize my my desk all too much, which was useful. Yeah, it's just, you know, otherwise I need my workspace was always a bit cramped, it felt like, and I was always working more on this side than on this side, so it works. So I shall give you today, I should give you a close-up of pencil shavings. No, maybe, if that's your thing, let me know. What am I going to do today? I have not super prepared anything. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do. Beyond yawn and drink some, I am going to turn beans into kittens. Yes! It sounds like an awesome plan, because it is. I say that by now before I start with the entire thing and will be cursing my, you know, myself senseless. Why beans into kittens? Because, you know, those who have watched the stream a couple of weeks ago, we had some really ill wee ones at the shelter, and you know, I had given subcutaneous fluids and everything, and it's not always nice to do them with young, you know, teeny creatures, but they seem to be pulling through quite a lot. So I felt like, you know, let's celebrate the gloriousness that is kittens. And if I didn't find that one a good excuse, then I would have done puppies, because there are puppies in currently as well. It's kawaii, it's cute, and it's an empty paper. And I wanted to start with a bean and so on. I'm also being not 100% attentive here, because I'm getting some messages as well, so I might on occasion just, you know, if I look distracted, it's because you people bore me. I need to find my stuff anywhere else. So I was thinking they need to be cute, they need to be kawaii, which is easy to do if you give them big eyes and you simplify the form. But I think to start with bean shapes and see what I can get out of that one. Beans, peanuts, you know what I'm talking about. Because why not? And if this one works, I will transfer it to watercolor paper, and we'll see what gives. So we have the first little bean. For those who watch on small screens, I am so sorry, it's not really super visible. Oh, I am so sorry for yawning all the time. I hope the music is also good. So I have a bean shape. Bean shape needs a tail. And either this one is the best idea I ever had. or it's gonna flop horribly. But we'll see. It needs little. I think it needs to go a bit lower, that one. I already have to erase. Oh, running poppers. It's good, they needed it. I'm also going to be playing with what is the concept of a kitten or a cat, because the shapes are not going to be anatomically correct. But that is kind of the point here, I think. To go for a more illustrator type style kitten. I don't like the X falling off per se. And it's like art is like making pancakes. The first one is always weird, but if I have something I can play around with, then I can see what I can do. It's an idea. I'm not certain, but yeah, I think the bean body does work. It's just a matter of finding something that kind of embodies the kitten cat-like thing. I like the big bushy tail type thing as well. I'm not sure about the second one. Not sure about the first one either, but yeah, we have some more space on the paper. Let's see what I can do with more beans. Let me see. Let me just take a fresh piece of paper. Let me see what I can. Excuse me 1 second, because I'm getting a message after message, which is good. Can be worse, but I said bean. Let's go for a big bean. Big bean. Big bean. Big bean. No. Throw all the tennis balls you want. I should have put this one higher up. Hold a sec. I am also just streaming a bit here, chatting, trying to sketch. Still recuperating from last week's little dip. Let's call it that. Because I had pushed myself a bit too much past last week. It was open house in the shelter. And with everything else, it was just too much. And then my body said, no, bean. Right. And if beans don't work, then beans don't work. And they don't work. No. Into dans la poubelle. Oh, okay, people. I'm also trying to stream, and I know you guys like me, but I am working hard, or hardly work. Right, drive safely. Right, bean experiment 3275. Not experiment 626 because he's on my t-shirt. Oh, I am so sorry, peeps. You all bore me. I think I might have something that works here. Oh! Welcome, Keen. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Drop by for the balls. It's gonna be beans today. Is balls like enough? So yes, I'm going to just see big bean, body shape bean. Let's see whether I can do something with this one, and whether it's worth playing around with it, or whether I should just, you know, call it quits, break open a bottle of whiskey, and it'll do. Right, thank you. Today is, like I stated in the beginning, is a day full of kittens because we had really ill kittens at the shelter, but it seems like they pulled through, which is extremely nice. Because we were all a bit worried, even though if you try to be professionally detached in what you're doing. Ooh. Twice the mischief. If you decide to give a company, you know, a shelter is always a nice thing to do, because they're usually swamped to the neck with unwanted animals. But On average, you also get an animal that has been vet checked, vaccinated, microchipped, and you name it. Still not certain with this one. It has potential. We had beginning of the week some, let's for the sake of legal purposes call him, you know, a responsible pet owner. Yeah, I know that one. That is so frustrating when that one happens, and I think it kind of ruins it for everyone. I don't think that one is okay at all. We have, you know, some stipulations at our place. Simply like, you know, you want a big dog, don't live in a small apartment and logical shit. But I've seen that sometimes they really go like, oh my god, your yard is fenced in, but it doesn't have a fence of like 2 meters, it's 198, you cannot adopt the kitten or the dog. Or, yeah. And I have no idea how strict the RSPCA is actually nowadays. On one hand, I can understand you want to be strict with who gets the animals, but on the other hand, you also need to be reasonable. And if you go to smaller shelters, and that's I think a universal issue, you get the type of women who secretly, I think, want to keep all the animals themselves. Hence, they will set the rules for adopting so weird and so arbitrary sometimes. Jesus God. Now, to be fair, some breeders are equally bad. A friend of mine wanted to adopt a shepherd, a Belgian shepherd puppy, and she went to a reputable breeder, but she had not had Belgian shepherd. She had only had one Dutch shepherd and one German shepherd, and she got denied the right to adopt because she didn't have experience with the breed. And I just went like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I feel your pain. But if you decide to do that one, you know, and you find a good shelter, that's always a nice thing to do. This is also a shit pencil. I should have other ones. Yeah, I have some. This is also a shit pencil. Yes, that's ridiculous because, to be quite honest, I don't think any cat should be an outdoor cat. They are environmental disasters, and it's not fair to them, it's not fair to other cats, it's just, you know. It is unfortunately way too common, that one, you know. But as long as you're on the shelter, you can get some kind of government support and whatnot. Or even worse, you know, the rivalry between shelters, and that's kind of universal. I don't understand that one. So yes, you're doing good with the goblin. It is a healthy little menace you're having. And an absolutely adorable one. I'm going to see whether I can sketch it again and see whether I can put some watercolors on it here. But yeah, it was either going to be kittens or it was going to be puppies, because we had a person who had called into the shelter wanting to give up his cane corso puppies because had a little oopsie nest, which is so annoying. And you know, the president of the shelter, when she went like, yeah, fine, fine then. And he never showed up, but then the police had to get involved because he was handing them out for free on the street. So they ended up at ours anyway, thank God. But that's just a cat in general. As long as she wants to play and she eats nicely and she comes for cuddles and you don't see signs of stress, then you're doing good. Then you're a good cat dad. Don't let anyone tell you you are not. Yeah, I was really dying. So now there are 6 puppies of a quite troublesome breed. They're lovely, don't get me wrong, they're puppies. But yeah, you just can't give those ones to anyone. But shelter named them after Big Bang Theory characters. So we have a Sheldon, which is the bravest one, funnily enough, and the entire lot. And it's easy to be angry at people, but sometimes I just think that the best thing a pet owner can do on occasion is drop the pet off at the shelter. There's at least one redeeming act. So yes, it would have been that one, it would have been kittens or giant cane corso puppies. I thought kittens might have been a bit easier. I was wrong. It can also be that it comes back when it gets winter. Khan here, he's like the biggest slut on the planet, and he just sits in everyone's lap. But Mimir, she only really comes and cuddles when it gets colder, because then she actually has something to gain from it, I assume. So, might come back when it gets a bit colder and she goes like, oh, my human is warm. And she looks good. She doesn't look stressed at all on any of the photos you've shared. So she's a happy and naughty little fuzzball, as they should be. made the body a bit too long here. Oh yeah, no, that's just a sign that she kinda likes you still, you know. The moment the cat decides I have resigned myself into knowing that I will never be anything more than Mimir's snack dealer. Well, cheese dealer. If it's not cheese, she's not even coming. On occasion she sits on the lap. Usually when you have to pee. Well, I grew up with both, and I think personally cats are way more honest in their approach to humans. They will, if they don't like you, you will know quite fast. A dog is still willing to tolerate quite a lot. With the exception of Chihuahuas, but we shall not mention them because they are pure evil. However, a cat's way better in hiding its pain than a dog is. Hello. We will be having extra peeps in the chat soon then. Well, one in any case.
Yeah?
Well, you?
Yes. Okay, well. We'll be definitely be here. Let me just start this one up.
Verdict?
Oh, yeah. There he is. That looks like a proper cat. Was the kin that still, is the kin still there?
Yes.
Yes.
That is also the advantage of cats, because they are, you know, more self-sufficient. You don't need to walk them. You can come home after a 12-hour shift, give them kibble, and they will just be happy to chill with you in the sofa while you're gaming. Dogs need a bit more
Pampering.
Yeah, you come home from a 12-hour shift and they go like, playtime. And they sound like Venom in my head always. David, you need to cover your snake.
The snake is already covered now.
The snake has been covered. He was
covered all along. Let's see.
Well, it works as an idea that started from some beans.
Mm-hmm. You know, I arrive.
You rise. Yeah, it's not, David is not usually that on top of things.
I'm always on top.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
On a different note, I am playing a game on PlayStation called Cat Quest, which is an RPG dungeon crawler type thingy, and everything is kittens. Ooh. Kolinsky brushes are nice. If you want to maintain them, a tip I can give you as a painter is to occasionally wash them out with a bit of shampoo and condition them, and then rinse them out. Because if you're dealing with actual hair, it does make it so that they hold a bit longer. Not every time, once in a while. The ones that I've used the most that are still animal fur type things are pig bristles for painting with acrylics and oil. But everyone does what they find best. I am not judging. Not for those things. Where is my paint? Oh, here are my brushes. A little hammer. We had a volunteer at the shelter this morning who got dog poo over them because it happens. And we were joking, and the person went like, "Yeah, fortunately, you know, I've also have once gotten poo in my mouth." And I was like, "We don't kink shame." And he was like, at the shelter, all right?" I was like,
No.
Sounds like a sensible set. What also can be an interesting addition to get is a pinstripe brush. They're thinner, but longer hair, so you can actually load more paint on it. So if you're doing stuff like detailing or lining out or shading or something, I personally think those ones have the merit because they do work fine, but you can load quite a lot of paint on them.
It takes a bit of practice to use a pinstripe brush though.
Yeah, it does take a bit of practice to I don't know, Artist Opus. What are they? Spill the beans. Is it a web shop or is it an actual physical? Because I'm one of those persons, I need to feel my brushes, my bristles. I do tend to buy the brush that I've been fondling as well, though don't get me wrong. But it's
I believe they only sell brushes in that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
I think they only sell like brushes and stuff like that. No.
Yeah, that is unfortunately a quite common thing to do these days. People buy like something on Amazon and then slap their own sticker on it and sell it for way more. And it's not the name you pay for, then it's the sticker kind of. And I'm not fond of those kind of, let's call them politely, shenanigans. There are other terms as well, but let's keep it polite.
Let's keep it civil.
And I have no idea whether you're audible on screen now, because I'm having my headphones in.
Let me see.
So yes. So
I am audible.
oof, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking rip-off. That's just disgusting. I'm gonna make it a ginger kitty, by the way. So no weird moaning in the background of it, you are audible.
Oh?
Yamete kudasai on your own time.
Always. All the Yamete.
All the kudasai.
It's difficult though to listen on the stream and talk at the same time.
Yeah, no, I usually turn that sound off because otherwise it bounces back and forth. And then it makes me go a bit bananas. No, it's a nice markup for them. 45 quid. Fuckers. I have Dollar Roundy. These ones are also quite good. Yeah, it also depends, because if I know that I'm gonna ruin my brushes, I'm gonna go to, like, you know, local arts and crafts, you know, Poundland variant, and just get a cheap set as well, you know.
Yeah, it's difficult to go wrong with Dollar only because they've been for a while in the business.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing by now.
Well, they've been at it for a while as well.
Yeah.
Dollar Rowney and fucking hell. Amsterdam, I have a couple.
Yeah.
Rembrandt. A couple of local brands.
Even if you would go like, oh, what are they called? The school brand? The one that's...
Conte.
No, it's not Conte. Brushes. Oh, what are they called? They're called...
Brunsville?
No, it's Talons?
Oh, Talons, Royal Talons.
Yeah, even if you would go them, they're decent brushes as well. I don't know how well they hold up for mini painting though.
Nah, but you know, they're like, you know, first year art student ones. We were kind of pushed to buy Talons at school, their paints and stuff, because it was considered quality of some sort. Well,
some sort of quality.
Yeah, and I also think that, you know, the art teacher didn't really want us to splurge out too much already if you don't know whether you're going to continue.
No, indeed.
Plus, in case of the paints, they are very consistent in their paint colors. It's not archival grade paint.
No, but still.
But you get every pot of ultramarine blue is exactly the same pigment.
Yeah.
And that is... You have to go to more expensive brands to get that one as well. So yes, good on them, they get to stay.
Yes. I also find it nice to see that more and more people that paint minis are actually getting into the regular art paints and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the entire oil paint thing that's happening because, yes, they do take a bitch ass long to dry. Look, red tail. Haha.
Tail is a little bit behind your feet now.
I know.
Pop up now. Only use the oil paint on big stuff, yeah. I can understand that one as well. because it takes a while to dry as well, but also because a lot of in miniature painting, a lot of the usage of oil is about splashing on and then removing to get effects. So it makes sense that you would only do that one on bigger stuff.
I mean, my little grots, that one serves no purpose in my opinion to spend.
No, sweetie, not that.
And it's always nice to see old techniques getting discovered, and people go like, oh my god, look, slap chop, it's so innovative, and us 90s kids looking at it going like,
Yeah, there are some truly hideous oil-washed infantry armies out there indeed. But if you know what you're doing with it, you can get fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's the same as using enamels, because enamels can also get fantastic results if you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, it just looks like shit.
But yeah, I was gonna do a little crossover thingy over on Discord one of these days, where I was going to talk about the similarities between painting on paper and painting on canvas and on models. What are techniques that are transferable?
Yes.
How does color theory differ between the shapes and the way you work with things and so on. So keep an eye out for that one.
Yes.
Might maybe do a poll to just ask when things work best for people.
No, but that one's smart, and you're in a better position to do that one than I am. I love the tigerish stripes that you're putting on there. Like, adding like little areas that are darker, so they also almost get like a. It's maybe not a tiger pattern, but.
No, but it's fine. It's just the idea to make it cutesy and kawaii.
Yes.
When I get a laptop stand that I can do proper art, artsy stream shit on my.
Yes.
From the easel. Tales from the easel.
Tales from the easel. And yeah, Keen, I know I've seen a couple of those ones as well that people just slide on black oil paint. But it's kind of because they assume that that you can use it, or that you should use it in the same way as using a
gnome
wash.
oil.
Yeah, like you have that one with gnome oil as well. People that make fantastic models and then they just dunk them in gnome oil, and suddenly everything is just meh.
Yeah. But at least gnome oil doesn't seep that deep into the crevices, kind of like oil paint does.
No. I am a fan of things that look realistic, and a lot of like grimdark type stuff goes towards that one. But there is a point when people paint grimdark and it just turns grey blob.
I have no issues with body washes. They have their point, and if you're doing 40,000 little infantrymen in the same way, then let's be honest, they still have their function then.
Yeah, it's a quick way of getting depth on your paint if you don't want to make fantastic painting kind of.
It's also, you have like an entire generation of painters who are completely relying on the contrast range, and which is I don't know, tiresome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can only applaud when there is actual people diversifying into paints that I know.
I think contrast has some big consequences as well. I think the issue, I think, mainly with these things is that people are there is a trap and that you can fall into in all kinds of art, and that is there is a trick, and I learned the trick, and now I'm gonna do the trick with everything. But the trick is not always working on everything.
No.
And people still use the trick, whatever the trick is.
You become a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
But I don't really see any golden demon contestants, like use the contrast paints really. Most of them use airbrush or like Vallejo paint or just plain old acrylics.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a big thing a couple of years ago? You know that one probably better than me, Kim, where Games Workshop was like, oh, you didn't paint it with Games Workshop paints? Or you can't win Golden Demon.
No, there was something with tournaments as well.
Yeah.
I know that if your ultramarines weren't the right shade of ultramarine blue, which is just literally your basic blue that everyone uses, that some tournaments you got kicked because it wasn't the right blue.
It's just silly. I think if people just work hard, get good at something, and then just make these, just work on it, not just haha, I learned this now and now I shall use it forever, but actually just work with it and try to make things as good as possible at all times. I think that one would benefit. And then screw using specific paints or yes, indeed.
Also, how can you determine whether I've used Citadel paints? I mix my paints quite often. I go like, yeah, it's green, but not the right shade of green. I want something else.
Different green, thank you.
Trying to say it's all a bit shit. I know there was something about that one, but no, I didn't see the rules for that one. Do I want to see them? How can you use AI in Golden Demon? Is my
Yeah, I'm wondering that one as well.
I remember, to go back to the specific rule thingy, when I went like, yeah, if you want to invoke a rule like red goes faster for orcs, then your figurines need to be painted red.
That one makes sense.
That one I
though.
can agree on.
Yeah, no, that one, yeah, that's good though. I think that one is good.
Also, how sad and how lazy are you? You spend all that time painting your model, but you cannot be arsed about the background?
Even if you want to have a specific background on, just ask an artist, can I use this one? And then use real fucking art.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about Golden Demon with some friends a couple of months ago. And then a couple of years ago, someone had sent in a model painted according to standard, really, really nice paint job, but left it on the sprue to make a statement. And since then, they changed the requirements that the model has to be assembled. Yes, indeed, the Farseer. I think that one of the things that has been bugging me with Golden Demon is that it's less about the model you've painted and more about the fluff around it.
Yeah.
And I find that one sad. I mean, I think if I would compete in that one, I would just send in smallest of models perfectly painted and then go like, you know, deal with it.
Yeah, because what I would like to see is like just a regular infantryman or
Yeah.
woman, painted to perfection, winning. But you can't win Golden Demon with one of those ones, and that one I find hilarious.
And sad.
How well can you edge highlight?
Yeah. I don't really see that much variation in paint jobs neither. It
No.
really is, you know, the new hottest thing in the paint world comes out and everyone jumps on it and you get 20,000 variations of the same. And that was a bit sad.
Well, more like 20,000 copies of the same.
Yeah, fair point. And then you have me, who still doesn't use spray paint to base coat her models. I still go old school.
Then you have me who don't finish any painting at all. I should build Golden Demon.
Yes. The biggest pile of shame in the planet.
That would also be funny, someone who paints their minis like a space marine, but like paint perfect with grey, just grey. All the highlights, everything.
Yes, everything in 50 shades of grey.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Because if you can execute that one nicely, then you can really make something nice. You have an urge to paint something different? Then paint something different.
That's why you can find cheap miniatures on Amazon.
Or sometimes when you walk into the store, you can also just get them in. I think, well, I'm not sure if they do that one everywhere, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got last time I was there at the Women of Warhammer event. I was trying mucking around with some contrast paints, and yeah, I got one because it was, you know, I can see use for it somehow, but I got to try it out on a figurine, and I got a choice between a Space Marine or a Stormcast, and I was like, dude, do you really have to ask? Stormcast, for those who don't. But since I painted him different, he doesn't really fit in the rest of my army. So he shall forever be known as a little experimental. Jeff the Experimental. Ordo Experimentus.
Experijet. John Contrast.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. It stands here somewhere in my... Behind there I have my pile of my nail polish racks with all the paints. I want to give it a black outline, but I need to wait for a second or two for things to dry. Here, I lifted a bit. It has some tiger stripes on the tail, some tiger stripes on the feet.
Imperial Fists. Fleshed hair red.
Last little bugger I have been working on is I will show him.
Show him.
Yes. The camera wants to focus on him. He's a me little squeak boy.
Yes, squeak boy.
It's a squeak hog. Yes. And I've gotten a set of sharks as well. Not Games Workshop ones. Somewhere else. Kinda like... and this was the one I did before. my storm cost. So yes, I do. I have a pile of shame, as obviously. Oh yeah, this was Jeff. This was Jeff of shame, I think.
The Warhammer Plus order to War Boss? That would be cool.
That would indeed be nice to do.
Yes, Jeff.
I can't remember what I've done with him. I think he was something... the black or something. I kind of painted over him when I came home because I didn't look. Have I seen the Oruk? Oh, sorry, itching.
It's a while ago, no?
Nah, well, I have seen the Oruk because we used to have an Oruk player in the house, and quite often I'm looking at things where I can go like, ooh, I have some snake bites, and Oruk stuff is quite often interchangeable with snake bite stuff. So I think it would work for the conversion, without a doubt. If you have some extra bits in the bit box, or you keep it like, you know, 40k snake bite something. But you know, this is way too small one.
No, we don't have that one. I think we had the other one from that year. We don't have that one. I think we have the other one from that year.
Oh, excuse me. The war boss.
Yeah, this is the.
Yeah.
I think we have the other one from that year because there was a different one. You have two.
That is the beauty of orcs, in my opinion. You can do lovely mix and matches with them. Okay, still with here, so I'll do start here.
That's the one. I can't remember what the other one was. I think the other one was the assassin, yeah. That's the one we got. The one that sits on top of a huge ass statue head. Which I still haven't painted.
It has always been one of my greatest joys in playing orcs, is the fact that they're so versatile. I mean, we have like the old, what are they called? The what no, what are Citadel journals,
Yeah.
and they actually give tips on how to make, you know, cardboard, you know, how to make cardboard, you know, Gorkanots and shit. Now they don't do that one anymore because you don't have money on cardboard Gorkanots. But
We always get both every year. Yeah, we don't always get both. Well, we don't have it anymore, so there's that. Looted tanks. Looted everything should be a thing, to be quite honest.
yes. But there is apparently also an animated series coming to Amazon. I have
It's not, it's just...
rumor?
It's just like an episode or 2 episodes. Because the series is about various gaming universes. So they have, you know, individual episodes about different universes. And one of them is based on 40k. But I hope that there will be...
I'm still if that it, you know, took the Astartes thing offline because, you know, they bought the rights up from the dude.
Yeah.
And then they did fucking nothing with it.
Yeah. Yes, but that World Eaters Chaos Board is a classic. I have that one.
Which one is it?
That's the dude with the chain fist. It's from one of the
Ah.
old Citadel covers.
I went like, is it Slambo?
No, it's not Slambo. Yeah, the Hell's Reach guy stuff is crap on Warhammer Plus. I didn't particularly like it myself. When he made it on YouTube, but it is, you know, to each their own kinda. But it was really a lot worse when it moved to Warhammer Plus. That I think they tried to do too much with it, and it just didn't work.
I've been relatively, well, not relatively, quite disappointed at Warhammer Plus, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Also, I had the old Codex world build, the Codex army builder for Age of Sigmar, and I understand that they've revamped everything and whatnot. But all of a sudden, you know, the app just stopped working, and I'm like, what if I like to play according to the old rules, you fuckers? I had several lists and armies saved in that one, and I don't want to upgrade because fuck that shit. I like to be contrary.
Which you should be. Contrary is good. I watched the entirety of the Angels of Death simply because it's the story is good. But yeah.
Is that the one where they're facing the Gene Stealers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
I remember something vaguely with that one. Behold.
Yes. Yes. It does look. It has more color in real life than it does on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put a thing in the Discord.
Put a thing in Discord.
And I've been only going 10 minutes over time. I need to get better at keeping my time because if I stream with my other camera, I only have 1 hour worth of streaming.
Yes.
Alright. We have a kitty cat. It's not super special, but it's, you know.
But it's a kitty cat.
It's a kitty cat. It got midlife on stream.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues that I had when I painted for Games Workshop was that there is the people that decide what you can and cannot do are really anal about how things should look. And what I mean by that one is not that you know, he has a bolter, so you know, I want to paint a plasma gun. That's not what I'm talking about. But if he has a bolter, and I go like, if in reality a bolter would never have that large screws in it, because that would be impractical and it wouldn't work. And then they will get angry about it if you don't paint the you know, all the individual bolts on the bolter, for instance, or on the chainsword or whatever, in the same size as on the models. and the models are always exaggerated so that it's easy to view. But the moment that you want to visualize something in, like for instance, a cartoon or a live action or an image, you need to kind of make things more realistic. And there are very few moments in time throughout their entire history that they've actually allowed that one to happen. And there's always has the better art and the better stuff happening.
I would just suggest that you take that discussion to the Discord.
Yeah.
So anyone else who watches this stream later and wants to join in, feel free to pop by over at the Discord.
Yes.
We're nice people there, honest.
Yeah. Honest.
And I have done my hour. I'm going to be rounding up now.
Yeah.
And since I have 2 weeks off, I might be doing some more artsy shit the coming weeks as well.
Yes.
And for people who watch this stream later, next week Sunday, I am back, same bad time, same bad channel, and that entire spiel. So
Yes.
with that, I bid you adieu, and I will see you next week. And thank you for the company. Bye bye.